गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्मतत्त्वं युवानं वर्षेष्ठान्तेवसद् ऋषिगणैः आवृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दमूर्तिं स्वात्मा रामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे वटविटपि समीपे भूमिभागे निषन्नं सकलमुनिजनानां ज्ञानदातारमारात् त्रिभुवनगुरुमीशं दक्षिणामूर्तिदेवं जननमरणदुःखच्छेदं रक्षं नमामि। चित्रं वटतरोर्मूले वृद्धा शिष्या गुरुर्युवा गुरोस्तु मौनं व्याख्यानं शिष्यास्तु छिन्नसंशयाः निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। चिद्घनाय महेशाय वटमूलनिवासिने सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यं निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिर्भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयम् तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। So we are looking at Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam Nijantargatam. We haven't got to Nijantargatam yet. We are still in the first three words. Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam. So these two, Vishwam Darpana and Drishyamana Nagari. So here it was taken as the world which is reflecting in the darpana, exactly the same way the the dream is appearing in our in us, in the waker. And tulyam means the comparison. Careful. Comparison is done, and we have seen that the status of the mirror was adhishthanatvam, satyatvam, asangatvam, and advayatvam. Similarly, the status of the I consciousness, you come to the correct assessment, not as the waker, not as the dreamer, not as the sleeper, the one who knows all these three. That also you are. That is adhishthanatvam. It is the basis. It is satyatvam. It is the truth because it does not change. It does not go through any modification. It supports all the modifications, but it does not go through any modifications. Asangatvam, all the changes that are taking place within the dream, it remains unaffected, it remains unattached. If there is fire, he doesn't get burnt. If someone is sneezing, he doesn't sneeze. If someone is hungry, he doesn't become hungry. Who? The surface of the mirror, or the mirror, or the I consciousness. Both are asangatvam, and and therefore the world has no connection to the mirror. Wide world has no connection to the mirror. Can the world touch the mirror? No. Can the reflection touch the mirror? No. So is it connected to the mirror in any way? No. So is the world connected to the consciousness that I am? No. But see how we are living? This is the point. This is the point. When Dakshinamurti comes into our life, or Upanishads come into our life, and we understand even little bit, it's the grace of the divine. Grace of Dakshinamurti, the grace of Lord Shiva. हमने बहुत पापड़ वेले हैं जीवन में. कौन से वाले? भगवान के नाम के जप के. नहीं, ये all that has led to this. It is not a coincidence कि कुछ समझ आ रहा है जो कि समझने लायक नहीं है. That we are understanding something which is not within the comprehension of the mind. It can only be a subjective experience. You understand? Because it's not this I consciousness is not a concept. And this I concept, if that is the case, if this is the status of the world which is appearing as the reflection, then is the consciousness bound? No. Can the consciousness become free? No. So there is no liberation and there is no bondage. Story over. See, important is, we say we want moksha, we want moksha. Kaha moksha? You are the basis. You are ever liberated. See? There's no one to be freed. There's no one, because nobody is bound. The dreamer needs to be freed. How does he get freed? When he wakes up. The waker needs to be freed. When will he be freed? When the waker wakes up from the waking dream. So right now waking dream is going on. How do you wake up? Don't sleep. How do you not sleep? Because if you sleep, you are continuing the dream. If you are sleeping, you are continuing the dream. One sleep is the dream sleep. This is the waking sleep. You are still continuing to push the dream further. How do you push? I am today, I will be tomorrow also. See? So, This is one way. You cannot stop that. It is happening. That how, remember last class, why was the dream continuing? Because we were sleeping. We were sleeping to whom? We were asleep to the waker. Once our attention went to the waker or we woke up, what happened to the dream? It went away. It was not there in the first place. Similarly, when this waker, who is also shunting every day, when he wakes up to the I consciousness, his true self, then what happens to this waking world? It disappears. Then who is bound and who is liberating? Nobody. In this way, so when we are affected by people, we are affected by people's comments, we are affected by emotions, we are affected by hunger, we are affected by thirst, we are affected by war, we are affected by heat, cold, so many things we are succumbing to or affected by. What is your understanding now with this new understanding? That all that suffering is for the waker who is asleep to his real nature. Isn't it? How can you stop the continuation of the dream? By waking up, by the waker waking up to his true nature. The dreamer stopped the dream by waking up to be the waker. Now the waker will stop waking by waking up to his true I consciousness. Understand? Remember, we started from the mirror, then we came to the dream, now we are waking up the waker. 3 steps. So you wake up, and when can you wake up? Tomorrow? Yesterday? Once I'm retired? Right here and now, when Shravanam is going on. When Shravanam is going, when listening is going on. At that moment. Because left alone, we will not be able to, till we get listen to it few times, till then we'll not follow this pathway to come to ourselves. You really don't need a pathway, but we are so invested in the world, in pushing the dream, in our readiness to forget our true I. The dream is continuing. We need to be reminded. And that is the job of the Acharya. That is the job of the... We'll come to that afterwards. Therefore, when we say, on one hand we keep saying, Aham Brahmasmi, that I am the Brahman, I am the reality, I am the Atma, I am the pure consciousness. And on the other side, there is the emotions are coming, the husband calls, the wife immediately comes out, the child calls, the mother immediately comes out, and so many things are happening in our life. Without us creating anything, it's happening. So we don't see that all this is illusory. We feel that it is very real. That child comes and goes, Amma, I took her away. He came running, screaming as if his world is going down. It was an experiment. Then I said, let me see if he is attached to his mother, maybe not attached to his father. I did the same to the father. He did the same. But before that, I had created a groundwork. When he was eating food, I went to his mother, I hugged her, I said, Mummy, my mummy, my amma. That fellow, you know what he did? He behaved as if he's not looking at me, he's not interested in what I'm saying. And 30 seconds later he said, I love Swamiji. Remember? I love Swamiji. And kept giving me flying kiss. What was going on? If you take mom, take me also. Or don't take my mom. I love you. Don't do that. देखो. So he is not thinking in such convoluted way like we are. But something is going on. He doesn't want to miss. So he knows. Everyone is looking up to Swamiji. He knows who's important here right now in that sense. So he knows, अच्छा यार, I love Swamiji. बार-बार दे रहा है. That he will not take my mum away if I show him that I love him. So in this way, so we are talking about the asangatvam, that I am free, and we are not talking about the mithya. And what is that mithya? That mithya is continuously thinking about the world which is appearing. Which is a mithya. What is the definition of mithya? That which appears but is not. What is mithya? The reflection in the mirror is the mithya, which appears but is not there. What is the dream? It appears but is not real. When is it real? When you are in the dream. When you are dreaming, when you have forgotten the waker. Till then it is real. And then when you wake up, then the dreamer also goes away, and the mithyatva, the non-existent dream also goes away. Now we find ourselves in the waking. Here also, waker and the waking world. He is also not, we feel, compared to the dream, waker was the permanent, waker was real. But because in the dream, the dreamer doesn't think that he is a dreamer. The dreamer is dreaming the world as a waker. He feels it is real. Till something happens and he wakes up. See? Same way, the waker here, we are awake and we are looking at the world. And what are we awake to? We are awake to the non-existent world. We are available to the reflection. All this, including the body and mind. Don't forget that part. And who are we really? The pure consciousness. And this pure consciousness has never been touched by the world. Can never be touched by the world. And in this way, this was the third, that was the asangatvam. Now we come to the advayatvam. Advayatvam, because the world is mithya meaning it's existing in its own absence, not having its own existence, therefore it is not there. It can, as we said before, the infinite objects in the reflection in the mirror is not equal to the mirror, isn't it? Similarly, the entire infinite objects in the universe put together is not equal to the consciousness that I am. Agree? Only agree करना है और कुछ नहीं. Is not equal to. So now watch we are running after the world, trying to be complete. We can never be complete because world is itself incomplete by nature. By nature it is incomplete, and we are running after that incomplete to make ourselves complete. And we have forgotten that we are the complete one. We are the true one. We are the constant one. We are the substratum. So now we have to wake up. How will you wake up? How will you come to this Advaita Tattva? How did the dreamer wake up to the dream, to be the waker? Some event in the dream woke him up. He didn't think, I'm going to wake up now. No dreamer thinks that way. Some event in the dream wakes him up, isn't it? Agree, everyone? This is one event taking place in your waking dream which has the possibility to wake you up. Vishwam darpana drishyamana nagari. This is a waking dream. Some event, something is happening at this moment. There is a window of opportunity. Yes, the whole dream, within the dream, every moment there is an opportunity available. But you are not available. The dreamer is not available to wake up. But some untoward event takes place and he wakes up, which he is not able to handle, which his mind is not able to work out.
Is that grace, Swami?
I?
Is that grace?
I?
Grace.
Grace bolo. But that event is not one event. That's what I'm coming to. It's happening every moment. Because you have the opportunity to wake up to yourself that I am the consciousness every moment. But are we waking up? Or are we, what is he going to say next? What is he going to say next? Lost the plot. See? So, this Advayam, what did we say? That all the objects, infinite number of finite objects put together is not equal to the pure consciousness, the substratum that I am. Therefore, the only thing is I, only thing is the surface of the mirror or the mirror, which is one, and that one alone, very important point, that one alone is as if being appearing as the entire reflected world, isn't it? Reflected city. Vishwam Darpana Nagari. So that one mirror alone is appearing as all the objects in the mirror. Similarly, that one consciousness alone is appearing as the entire world. What is the material that has gone into every object of the world? What is the river made up of? Hey, gone. What is the river in the reflection of the mirror? What is it made up of? Mirror. What is the building made up of? River. What is the space made up of? River. What is the fire made up of? River. All the five elements made up of river. All the emotions, all the people, all their speech, all their moods, everything, whatever you can see, all the activity, people are doing, people are projecting, people are planning, all that variety that you see in the reflection of the mirror, what is it? Only the mirror. This is the next growth. यहाँ से सीधे shoot out of the gravity of the mind, of the waker. Everything is the mirror, exactly the same way. Every object, every person here, every word, every cell in this body, everything is nothing but that pure consciousness. Everything is the pure consciousness. Advayam. This is the Advayam principle. Advaita Tattvam. One without a second. So when mom says, you are because of me, Or the husband says, wife, you are because of me. I am the husband. That's why you are a wife. She says, Rehne do ji. Huh?
Jago.
Jago, jago. See? So, when we say that the material cause of the universe is Ishvara, okay? Or we say material cause of the world is pure consciousness, and the efficient cause of the creation is the Ishvara or the pure consciousness. Now you understand. Through this Vishwan Darpana Drishyamana Nagari. That what is the material of every object in the mirror? Reflected in the mirror? The mirror. Who is the inspirer of all the activity in the mirror? The mirror. Inert, that which is not existing, is appearing as moving, talking, feeling, tasting, senses are working, elements are appearing, day is coming and going away, but everything is mirror. Exactly the same way. I, the pure consciousness that I am, that is my true nature, is one without a second. It is the only thing. It's not that it has gone and pervading the world. If you are seeing the depth here, if you are seeing the distance between me and you see the distance between people in the reflection in the mirror also. But what is your conclusion? That it's an appearance of distance, but there is no distance. The distance from A to B, A is pervaded by the mirror, B is pervaded by the mirror, and the distance between them is also mirror. Huh? Not space. Not space. Mirror. So when we come to consciousness, I see the distance between you two and the gap in between. That gap in between is space, yes. When I'm looking outwards. But what is the truth? Consciousness is at point A. In and through, whatever it is made up of is consciousness only, just as in the mirror. B also, everything is nothing but consciousness. You cannot have two consciousnesses. They are only appearances. And the distance between the two also is the consciousness. लगे रहो मुन्ना भाई सब जगह घूमते रहो. I'm here also, I'm there also, I'm in between. I'm here also, I'm here also. इसीलिए that is why you see these sannyasis, these yogis, those who are especially in the Nisargadatta Maharaj contemplated like this when his teacher told him, you are that. In 2 years, it clicked to him. He didn't study any books. He just listened to his teacher once. Ek satsang. Like that lady, Nayana, she came and asked, Swami, बहुत हो गया है, एक लाइन में बताओ. नहीं, भगवान की बात नहीं हो रही यहाँ पे. हाँ, हाँ, कण में, बट कण है ही नहीं ना. इसलिए हमारी भाषा क्या है? जो नहीं है उसमें भी कॉन्शियस जो है, जो अभी जिसको हमने अस्तित्व किसको दिया है? अगर हमने अस्तित्व, आई एम गोइंग इन हिंदी, डोंट वरी. हाँ. So she said, tell me in one line. I said, that you are that which you are seeking. Mean basically Tattvamasi. Nisargadatta Maharaj, he was given this instruction. He asked, what should I do? He says, whatever you are searching, whatever that inspired you to come here, and whatever you understood, what did you understand? That I am that one reality. He said, now go and discover that you are that. Tattvamasi, you are that. He says, what do I do? He says, don't do anything. Don't search outside. Don't search inside. Be that. And he spent 2 years trying to be that. Ramana Maharishi was found 18 years. They say 18 years he was by himself in the caves of Arunachala. But within a few, we don't know, months, days or years, he must have found himself. He was discovered after 18 years, that's a different matter. So how long does it take to be? Instantaneous. Instantaneous. It doesn't take 2 years. Then why did he, I can only giving words to it, why did he stay inside for 2 years? To be established. To be established in it. Some people say it's once and it's over. Some people think it takes one glimpse, then second glimpse, then third glimpse, and eventually you learn to abide, because what is happening in that process is you're waking up from the dream slowly. Karwat badal rahe var var. So pure consciousness is the Advaya principle, is the non-dual principle, which is on which the entire reflection of the world is imagined. I'll take you again, just as the reflection was, the mirror was the one, and the world was an appearance, and the mirror is pervading everything. The dream world appeared, but the waker was the one. Why did he appear there? Why did the dream appear there? Because the person was asleep to being the waker. Therefore, it was dreaming. Once some event in the dream woke it up, made it immediately the imagination, the projection that the dream is, it got broken, the reflection got broken. He came back to his original, the waker. When he comes in the world, waker, being the waker, there is another world here. Arey yaar, ye to chhod hi nahi raha hai. It's not leaving me the world. Again there is a world. So what to do now? Now expose yourself to such events in this world where there is a possibility to wake up to your conscious self. And where is? Listen to satsangs every day, which most of you are doing. But apart from that, when we are living in the world, that awareness has to be, you have to be awake to that awareness. You have to be awake to that consciousness, in spite of everything that is taking place. That knack you have to develop. That knack will develop if you are alert towards that consciousness. When the dreamer becomes alert, if while waking in the class suddenly you go, some word that comes, sometimes some word from here will wake you up. Sometimes from suddenly out of its own accord, you just shake out of the imagination, isn't it? So come back again and again. Chote karke, dheere. So these are the four aspects, features of the mirror, and these are the four features of the Atma. We compared it to that. Vishwam darpana drishyamana nagari tulyam nijantargatam. So nijantargatam is another thing. Nija antargatam. It's continuously happening inside, but actually nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. In the modern science, they think, if anyone says, hey, you are thinking, if a lot of youth, we say, hey, your mind is thinking. There's no, my brain is thinking. This is the response I get. So what is thinking? Brain or mind? The sounds enter our ears. They go and vibrate the eardrum. As that vibration of the eardrum happens, that membrane which is there, it is connected to the two bones, something like that. The vibration passes through those bones. Those bones go ahead. There is some tube. I don't know all the technical. Cochlear tube. In that there is some liquid. That vibration creates a wave in that liquid. That liquid goes, and the sides of that cochlear, I think they are connected to some nerve endings. And that vibration of the water, liquid in that cochlear, that vibration then is, in that cochlear tube, there are some hair-like thing, and when the lower bass sound is there, the long hair-like things, they vibrate. When it is a sharp sound, the small ones vibrate. Each one of the hair is connected to some nerve. The vibration passes through that nerve and goes to the brain, and something goes on in the brain. Brain is physical, huh? Abhi tak sound nahi aaya hai. Till now the sound has not been produced. Only vibration is going. And you can't see the vibration. And it goes into the brain, then the neurons are fired up, and the sound is created in the mind, on the screen of the mind, meaning on the screen of the consciousness. Haad do gayi yaar. So nothing has happened yet, so much, everything has happened. This is what doctors will tell you. Nijantar Gatam we are talking about. So sound was outside and you heard it inside. But inside where? Nothing has happened inside because you are consciousness. You are hearing the sound, means the hearer is separate to the sound, isn't it? See? So this just as the whole reflected city is happening Nijantargatam, inside the mirror. Similarly, this entire gamut of experiences, waking, dream, deep sleep, is Nijantargatam. It is happening within the consciousness as the consciousness. But what are you seeing? Are you seeing consciousness everywhere? No, you are seeing consciousness and inertness. You are seeing time, you are seeing space, you are seeing sun, you are seeing moon. But actually, what is sun and moon? What is fire and water? What is air and earth? Nothing but the consciousness. The sun, the moon, the fire, the air, the building, the bricks, the trees. What is it in the mirror? Nothing but the mirror. Isn't it? You're getting what we are saying? Exactly the same way. Everything is nothing but the consciousness. Now watch one more step. अभी और भी step है. We'll send you realized from here. One more step. Waker is aware when the waker wakes up. When we say, I had a dream or I was dreaming. So he is aware of the dreamer and the dream world, isn't it? Correct? But not affected by it, not giving value to it, not giving a reality to it. Yeah? But he knows both. Whom does he know? The dreamer and the dream objects or the dream world. Correct? Is that your experience? When the waker wakes up, when the waker wakes up, so, okay, I'll put it in another way because language is very important here. I went in a little bit of tangent, excitement में हो जाता है. The waker knows the dreamer and the dream world where Nijantargatam, within himself, isn't it? He doesn't know the waker and waking world, dreamer and the dream world where somewhere else. No, he knows it was within me, isn't it? Clear? Just like the mirror knows, if it could, that or you can see that the entire reflected city is in the mirror only or on the mirror only. Similarly, the I, the waker, in this example, the waker knows the aham, the dreamer, and idam, the dream world. He knows both of them. Yeah. And every time it comes up, every time it goes away, whenever he forgets himself, he starts dreaming. When he wakes up, he says, "Arey, it was only a dream," gives zero value. This is going on. It's your experience. Now, when the waker wakes up, and he wakes up to whom? Wakes up to himself, the pure consciousness. Then what will be his take? That the waker and the waking world are happening in me. Correct? That story is over after that. Does the waker stop the dream from coming? No. Dream happens. Whenever the waker becomes tired, becomes deluded, becomes influenced, forgets himself, dream begins, isn't it? Exactly the same way. Every time the I forgets that it is the pure consciousness, it is the substratum, it is all that there is, it is the Advaya, the waking dream begins. And when you come back to it, what value will you give to the waker and the waking world? Zero. Because the waker gives zero value to the waking dreamer and the dream world. You give zero value to the world, the person and the consciousness and the inertness in the reflection of the mirror. Do you give it any value? You go to a screen in the movie theater, you see people, if someone is crying, you cry, if someone is getting killed, you feel the pain, war is going on, you don't want the war to go on. You go through an emotional roller coaster. That's what Indian movies are, isn't it? But whom are you looking? You are seeing persons there, you are seeing the objects there. That person is waking, if that person is sleeping, that person is dreaming, everything you are seeing, but nothing is happening. The reality there is only the screen. Exactly the same way, the reality here is only the screen of consciousness. If at all you want to put it, it is the screen of the mind. Mind is also nothing but the consciousness. वो next step में आ जाएगा अभी, in the next step. But here you understand this much. Nijantargatam, it is happening inside. Okay. So where are we? Tulyam nijantargatam pashyannatmani mayaya bahirivod. And so this was pashyannatmani. Where are we? Let me see. Pashyan. So the experiencer, that is the dreamer, the experienced, that is the dream world, and the experience itself. The dreamer experiences the dream world, that experience. All that is an illusion only. Exactly the same way, the waker, the experiencer that we are right now, the experienced world, the waking world which is experienced, and the experience of the waker all these three are illusions alone. And where are you seeing all this? The waker is seeing it in himself, that this dreamer, dream world and the dream experience is happening within him. Pashyan Atmani. You are also, once you wake up, you are also seeing that they are happening within you only. The waker, waking world and the waking experience. How long? Just a minuscule moment. After that, how long do you remember the dream? Hardly. Till someone doesn't ask, "Arey yaar, what did you dream today?" I can't remember. I can't remember. But you know you had a dream. Or you did not have a dream. Both you know. You know that the waker, dreamer and sleeper are coming and going every day. You know it. There is no doubt about that, isn't it? But all that which comes and goes is illusion. And where is this coming and going taking place? In the pure consciousness that I am. Pashyan Atmani. And why is it that which is nothing but consciousness appearing as a real world outside? That's right. I am touching the table. It is real, man. She keeps telling, I am the mother, behave. She keeps reminding, what? I am 82, you are only 20 years behind. मैं जाने वाली हूँ, तू भी जाएगा. ठीक है. So why the world is appearing as outside? The dream world for the dreamer, for dreamer, the dream world was appearing outside. When you woke up, what was your experience? That the dreamer and the dream world and the dream experience was inside. Right now, what are you experiencing? That you are the waker, this is the waking world, and this is the waking experience. How long will it continue? Till you wake up and don't continue sleeping. Sleeping to what? To your own essential nature. When we wake up to our essential nature, what will we find? That everything is within me. That same thought at the Ishvara level. Om Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha Sahasrakshas Sahasrapad Sabhomim Vishwato Vritva Atyatishthad Dashangulam. But this is from phenomenal, the Lord of the phenomena. But what are we coming to here? We are saying there is no phenomena. We are saying Vedanta is not about phenomena. Vedanta is about there is only one and there is nothing else apart from that one. And who is that one? That is the pure consciousness. What is that pure consciousness? Where is that pure consciousness? That I am. I am that. Then where is Sahasra Shirsha Purusha? It is for the mind. It is not for the pure consciousness. So there are no tentacles. There is no expansion or contraction in pure consciousness. Pure consciousness is Advaya. It is constantly one. The surface of the mirror is constantly one. Correct, Aham Brahmasmi. Constant. Mirror will say Aham Brahmasmi. क्योंकि so, oh, you appeared as that guru in the reflection, Aham Brahmasmi. You appeared as that confused fellow as the student who could, Aham Brahmasmi.
Why is the waker and the waking world relatively easily dispensed with, but why is the waking experience more dominant?
It's lingering.
Is that all?
That's all. One thing is it is lingering. We have invested too much into it, into the experience, objective approach. But if the waker and the waking world is easily dispensed, experience cannot remain. For the waker, the waking world, and the waking experience are all dependent on each other. Your example, the wooden stool, which we were talking about, remember? Three legs of the stool. The waker, waking experience, and the waking world. But what is the stool made up of? Wood. So from the wood's point of view, it doesn't care. It is a leg or it is the flat stool or the this leg or that leg or it doesn't care. Wood remains as wood. Gold remains as gold. It doesn't care if someone makes a ring, if someone makes a whatever out of it. Similarly, space doesn't care if the world appears or world disappears in it. Similarly, I gave this example. Mind doesn't care if thoughts come or don't come. Eyes don't care if the forms or colors come or not come. Similarly, consciousness that I am, it doesn't care whether waker, dreamer, sleeper are there or not there. But will they be there? It's a phenomena, it will continue. How long will it continue? As long as this particular body has got its, as long as it's got its destiny, how long, whatever number of life, how many years it has to live, etc. For other people, this body is continuing. See, Mahatma is walking. You ask the Mahatma, where are you walking? I walk without walking. That is the answer come. Where are you going now? I go without going. Ishavasya Upanishad. Tannai jati tad dure tad vadantike tad antarasya sarvasya sarvatra something goes on. See? So this is how it is. But what are people seeing? People are seeing a body moving, who they call Mahatma. Why? Because he's not behaving like them. He's in his gaga, he's somewhere else. He seems to be there in front of us, he looks like us, he has hunger, he has thirst. When I went with Swamiji to Badrinath, Badrinath in 95, before 96 I joined the course, 95. And I told him that I want to go, I'm going to Himalayas and you're not. So he took me with him, with the entire batch, the previous batch. So we went to Badrinath. No, we went to Gangotri. First we went to Gangotri. After Yamunotri, Gangotri. Yamunotri was blocked. Then we went to Uttarkashi, stayed one night in Uttarkashi, went to Gangotri, and immediately we started our walk. And 24 kilometers we had to walk to the Gomukh Glacier. We went there and we are seeing it first time. I'm going from Australia. I was waiting to go to the Himalayas. That's why I was going. Somehow I got caught up in the mission somewhere. But it was good, however it unfolds. But there I went, all the brahmacharis, oi, we have come all the way. This is very auspicious. We have to take bath in that heat of the moment, in that cold water. If you stay there for 10 seconds, your body will become blue. And some of them dipped. Some fellows who thought they were smart, they took a 2-liter bottle of water, they filled it up with the water. Now it takes long time to empty that bottle on yourself. Oh, they were jumping like monkeys everywhere. And in the meantime, Swamiji said, "Hey beta, get me some mug of water." So I brought him a mug of water. He didn't jump into the water. I just sat on a stone. And he says, "Pour the water over me." And I poured the water over him. Abhishek ho gaya. I didn't realize I'm doing Abhishek. Abhishek ho gaya. And then after that I rushed back because it was getting late. So Swamiji said, "Let's go." We went back. And when I reached home, Lal Baba Ashram, Bhojwasa. So some brahmachari told me, they are all sleeping. One person gets up. Hey, he calls me, whatever my name was then. And he says, "Oh, you can get some hot water going because Swamiji will be coming and he's walking barefoot because someone took away his sandals." And he walked all over the rocks, man, with the bare feet. So he will be very tired. Please prepare some hot water and so that he can soak his feet in that. I said, okay. And I did that. And then Swamiji came. I said, "Swamiji, aapke liye, we have kept some hot water to you. Should I bring it?" What is his answer? It's so distinctly clear. Tumhe lana hai to lao. If you want to bring, you bring. If you don't want to bring, don't bring. I said, bloody, I spent 300 rupees. That time it was $10. My money, my point is, because at that 12,000 feet, just to boil 2 liters of water, it cost 300 rupees. Because no wood is available there. I said, what is this question? I was very perplexed. But my attention was on his feet, So I quickly went. I didn't know that what his personality is. I thought he was khadus. Very arrogant. I said, "Acha, theek hai, acharya hai, sannyasi hai, so respect to deni hai." So I got the water, I put it. I said, "Swamiji, put your feet into the water, it's getting cold." "You want to put the feet in the water, you put. If you don't want to put, don't put." I got cheesed up. I said, I didn't bring the water to put my feet. I'm talking about your feet. He said, "That's what I'm saying. You want to put, you put. You don't want to put, you don't put." Same language. Then I said, I took his feet. This is at 12,000 feet I'm talking. I took his feet and I put it in the water. Now what you put in the water? He's walked almost how many? 4 kilometers on the rocks, bare feet. I said, "Swamiji, massage kar दूं आपके लिए? Should I do some massage for you? You want to do, if you want to do it, you do it. You don't want to do it, you don't do it." I was getting thoda समझ नहीं आ रहा था, but I was also too exhausted. After 24 plus 4, 28 kilometers we have walked. I was beyond my mind. I said, "Kya hai, pagal aadmi hai? He's mad." I didn't go to rest. I stood there, heated up the water for him. I brought it for him, and instead of being appreciative, he's speaking like this to me. Is this decency? Once the thought went through my mind like that. Once the thought did go through that mind. Then and after 5 minutes, because it's that at that height, the water becomes cold very quickly. Anubhavananda. So the water got cold. While I was massaging, उसमें में पानी ठंडा हो गया. Because if it gets cold, then his feet will again contract. I said, "Swamiji, water is getting cold. पैर निकाल लीजिए. Take your feet out. If you want to take out, you take out. You don't want to take out, don't take out." Hey, yaar, I was getting cheesed off now. Still one more to go. Now that cold water, because the moment you take it out, your feet are cold, man. I saw one unka bag. I said, Swamiji, you have some towel or something? He says, bag mein. So I opened the bag, took out the towel. I said, Swamiji, please wipe your feet. Otherwise, if you want to wipe the feet, you wipe. If you don't want to, you don't wipe. Now, after giving me this treatment, then someone maybe triggered. I just needed a trigger to approach it in a different way. He says, you have been blessed that this happened. I go, how blessed? 300 rupees spent. God blessing. And only for 5 minutes of hot water. And that too, for that I had to listen so much from him. Do this if you want to, if you don't want to, don't do it. Everything. He says, forget about all that. Where are you, Gangotri? Where are you in the Himalayas? Abode of Shiva, abode of Gangaji. There, whether you are going to study or not study, forget it. But you are in presence of a sannyasi, a Mahatma, an Acharya. He is a teacher because he has just taught one batch. 32 students passed out of them. So he must be having some command, he must be having some knowledge. You, whether he asked or not, situation came that you got the opportunity to serve him. Forget about 300 rupees, forget about, ek moment ka tha, forget about how long it was, but without any disturbance, without any, he didn't ask, you didn't demand, you just offered, and it was like an initiation that who gets to touch the feet, serve the feet of a Vedanta Acharya at 12,000 feet on the banks of the Gangaji. First you did Abhishek, then you are pressing his feet. तो क्या बोलते हैं वो पाद्यम समर्पयामि, फिर अभिषेकम समर्पयामि हो गया. हाँ हाँ, पाद्यम समर्पयामि वो भी हो गया. I washed his feet also. He said, you are blessed. फिर जाके हाँ यार सच्ची में कुछ हो गया. इतनी एनर्जी आ गई उसके बाद. Then Swamiji said, अरे बेटा come here. I said, yes Swamiji. What are other brahmacharis doing? I said, Swamiji, they are all sleeping. Go announce that in 10 minutes there is going to be a class. He has just walked 28 kilometers he has walked. He says, and they all came half an hour early and they are ghode bech ke so rahe. So I went, I announced. Swamiji is saying that in 10 minutes there will be a satsang in Lal Baba Ashram and that's where we will have dinner also. So I went with Swamiji. He said, come with me. चले गए. वहाँ पहुँचे. Nobody came. Everyone is sleeping. Only 2-3 of us were there. He says, जाके बुलाओ. I went. Again I called. And because they first time in their life they have walked so much. And eventually some brahmacharis trickled. And then we had a satsang at that place. There go. When we look at Dakshinamurti, students sitting around him, when I think of this, if some memory is there which is taking you to the Guru principle, to the conscious, it should be remembered. It will remind you again and again. When you go home, you remember that we had satsang here and this was the topic that was going on and these were the examples that were. Again and again you will be triggered to yourself. You understand? And this is this is how Master speaks. That why that example was. तो यहाँ पे यह पश्यन् आत्मनि मायया बहिरिवो भूतम यथा निद्रया. When I have already answered this you have also understood this, and that is, what is this nidra? Firstly, because we are sleeping to our own nature, that's why the Maya is able to affect, and we see the world as real outside. It is not real, but we see it as real outside. The moment इसका तुम कुछ नहीं कर सकते, you are going to say this world is unreal, you cannot make it unreal. While being aware of the world, you cannot make it unreal. But its nature is unreal because it's changing, but you are not seeing it as, you know it is changing, but you cannot let go of it. Then what is the way out? Wake up to yourself. Wake up to yourself. The only way to dissolve the world is to wake up. You wake up to your consciousness, and that very moment, this nidra, which is nothing but ignorance, ajnanata, atma jnanata, that will disappear. If you forget the atma, if you forget the consciousness, then Maya plays. And Maya, what does the Maya do? That which is not, it makes it appear real and outside. Where is the status of the world? Where is the status of the world? Inside. So, the dreamer and the dream world and the dream experience, was it for the dream, when the dreamer was dreaming, it was, the dream world was outside, the dream experiences were real. The moment he woke up, the dreamer and the dream world was inside, and it was mithya, it was phenomenal. Then when he comes to the waker and the waking world and the waking relations and the waking memories and the waking body, everything seems to be real. How long will it be real and solid? As long as we do not wake up.
Alert from no backups, the 360
I don't want backups, man. Huh? So, till we don't wake up. The moment we wake up, what will be the status of the waker, the waking world and the waking experience? They are inside. We can say they are inside, or another word is, actually speaking, this inside outside we are talking only up till from dream to waking, from waking to consciousness. If you come pure consciousness, there's only you. That's all. That's all. So this is what is saying here. Pashyannatmani mayaya bahiribodh bhutam yatha nidraya ya sakshat kurute prabodha samaye swatmanameva dvayam. Ya sakshat kurute, ya he who sakshat kurute, who through his contemplation, he who wakes up, he who knows, sakshat. Sakshat means, what is the word for immediate? Direct perception, immediate perception. Immediately he will be available to it. He who comes to know what is told in the first two verses, in other words, he wakes up, he who wakes up from the sleep and wakes up to be the consciousness that he is, and comes face to face. So who was the dreamer was also conscious. He woke up to being the waking conscious. Now the waker conscious, he wakes up to the Atmic consciousness or the infinite consciousness, both one and the same. Wake up from the sleep. That is called as, this waking up is called as prabodha. This is called enlightenment. Waking up to your own nature is called enlightenment. At that very moment. Not sometime in the future, not as an idea. For us, whatever is our status of the dreamer, dream world, and the dream experience, when we wake up, the status of the waker, waking world, and the waking experience will be exactly like that of the dream for one moment, and then it's over. Then it's just you as the consciousness. And swatmanam evadvayam Atman is that it is his own oneself, and it is the non-dual. We have already covered the Advaitatvam with reference to the mirror and with reference to the consciousness. It is one without a second, and such a person, he who has woken up from the sleep and has recognized himself as the consciousness, such a person alone is Sri Guru Murti. Such a person is a guru, walking, talking guru in this world. He alone is the guru, who is abiding, who is established in that pure consciousness. When you are established in that pure consciousness, then alone you can communicate that consciousness. If you don't know the consciousness, how can you communicate the consciousness? Like when I was staying in Varanasi, my next door sannyasi, he was doing PhD on pranayam. PhD on some pranayam. I said, what do you know about pranayam? He says, yeah, I'm doing research. What is the research? Book research, no practice. No practice. 4-year scholarship. Not such a person is not a guru. He who has directly claimed his true nature, the one who has directly perceived, yes, sakshat, direct perception, in the here, samaye, in the here and now, not in the past, not in the future. Such a person is Guru Maharaj. And any person, it is not that just one person, any person who is established like this is the true teacher. And the more established, I'm just using it for communication purpose, the more established is the person in the consciousness, to that extent he will be able to give the exposition with clarity about that consciousness, because drama has to go on. That's how we see the saints and sages giving satsangs also, isn't it? They are realized, yet they are giving satsangs. So which one with some people you run away after one lecture or after first 5-10 minutes. For some, you want to keep listening. We never wanted to stop. Even after 2 years, we felt we have just gotten only a drop of the entire ocean. That was our feeling. That time, unfortunately, I did not know there were other organizations also. Otherwise, I would have gone somewhere else, done a 3-year course, and then again gone somewhere else, done another 3. Continued in the bliss, in that sense. But then I would have been seeking it outside. So life brought me in this turn. It's trying hard. Life, just like dream, brings about an event to wake you up. The life has, this waking life has said, this fellow is a hard nut to crack. Let's make him a teacher. Maybe one day he will wake up. But we are already woken up. We are in an imaginary sleep. We are in imaginary sleep. And when that waking up happens, that guru, such a person is called the guru by the people, but that which reveals from within is the Sri Dakshinamurti, and to that Sri Dakshinamurti, my salutations, my namaha. Sri तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये विश्वं दर्पण दृश्यमान नगरी तुल्यं निजान्तर्गतम् पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयम् तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ॐ पूर्णमदा पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ Just sit as long as you want.